I've been in public education for most of my professional career at every level. I have taught at the university, I've taught adults at the community college. I have not personally taught in the K-12 system, but I have taught teachers and professional development. So I'm very, very familiar with the government education system, which sadly, let's set the curriculum aside, which is very harmful, and at least in California, just the concept of teaching students in a very segmented way where you have to have a bell that rings to tell you to stop studying science and then you're going to go study mathematics. That is not the way that people learn. You know, think of an infant from the age of, newborn to 2 or 3 years old. They're not in school. They're learning. They're learning at an accelerated pace. They're discovering and they're exploring, and it's really a process of self-discovery. We never stop learning that way. That is how we learn. And to have this learning imposed upon you with standardized tests and a system where students and learners are segregated according to their age, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to me. So all of my professional career really has been focused on teaching teachers how to teach. And really it's focused on student-centered learning. So having students at the center, having the learners come out of the government schools, they accelerate. They're no longer limited. They can study and learn and explore in a manner that makes sense for them. Further, there's no peer pressure. There's no bullying because they're not at a school with other kids. There are plenty of opportunities for socialization. And many of these, I call it freedom learning. And many of the freedom learning environments are like cooperatives where you've got communities coming together, kind of like the old one-room schoolhouse. So my philosophy is that kids from the age of, let's say, 5 to 15, and even older and younger, they all are mixed in together and they all can learn at the same time and they help each other learn. And it doesn't need to be from a textbook or online. You learn from doing. So that's really thrilling to me. I think that's one of the Peter, I'm going to call it a hidden gift. It's kind of like the silver lining in all of this, that many, and I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of families removing their children from the government prison schools. And the reason I call it a prison is because the schools themselves have instituted that. They have lockdowns. Okay, lockdown is a prison term. And they'll say, oh, the kids are on lockdown, the school's on lockdown. That word is so harmful to be used in a school setting. Now, you might say we're securing the school or we're going to keep the students, fill in the blank. But to use the word lockdown is prison terminology. So that's why I call it government prison schools. Further, when you put your kids in that school, many parents may not realize this, but when you put your kids in the school, you are giving the state control over your children. And here in California, if you have a daughter, let's say, I think it might be 14, it might be as young as 11. I need to check because the laws keep changing. Your daughter can have an abortion without your consent. All right. The school can go take your daughter to have this murder of an innocent infant.
Well,
So
first and foremost, I mean, what is she doing going out there getting pregnant at 11 years old anyway?
yeah, I'm not sure if 11, that might be the age for getting a vaccine. So they can vaccinate your child without your knowledge. They can actually lock your children in. And I've heard of this already where, for safety reasons, they did a quarantine on a school where the children were locked in. So to me, it's very, very dangerous. Parents, you need to keep your children with you at home. Don't worry if you don't know about teaching or, if you're divorced, single, whatever the case may be. If you have special needs, if your children have special needs, I have a remedy for everything. And that is at thehealthyamerican.org at Freedom Learning. Or, yeah, you can go to the help tab and see what's there available. So I've got lots of information there for people who want to learn about getting their kids out of school.